live streaming and historically based now. We have everybody here, so let's get started with no guests. So we need an agenda to approve the consent, a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And then turn it over to Tony Marino for a report from the club board.
All right, well, first, thanks. I just wanted to reiterate our support for your attempt at your HOA fees. We feel not only will help our community, but it'll also help our club greatly. And as I've talked with several people, have included, let us know how we can help you. We're there for you as a partner. So I was asked to convey that. Wanted to let you know, as members of the club, we're working on our club, our future. We're listing our goals. Survey is going to go out to the entire membership in the near future so that we can identify which of the major projects are going to come into being, and then we'll try to put it on our campus plan, and we'll be sharing that in our Thursday meetings with the group. Something that I know that's near and dear to all your hearts is the micromobility. We've had several instances up at Deer Creek. Recently we had two elder gentlemen almost run over by, it was more of a motorcycle than a bicycle. And luckily we have that on video, and we're going to be taking extreme action. And again, we'll work with you however we can for a joint policy on that. We'll follow your lead. I'll give you an update
Was
on
it on the community path?
It was on the community path, yeah. Oh, no, they were on the path by the deck.
Out in front of the deck.
They were actually on the path, not on the sidewalk. We're experiencing problems of 3 and 4, 5, like little mini packs. They're racing the wrong way while incoming cars are coming in. It's becoming more of an issue, and it's not a lot of people. I think it's a small number, but we need to curtail that. It really is a safety issue. Just give you an update on the Franklin Creek. We have the two parking lots that are by the lagoon facing the back of the deck. If any of you have been by there, you've probably seen the pavers in. We're probably 2 weeks away from hopefully getting approval from the county. We're going to be lining those in the near future. Once those two are done and we get approval, the parking over by the pickleball area will cease to exist, and the roadway will open up again. About a week after that, we're hoping the large lot back by Bocce 8, by Bocce 1, which has about 14 cars, will open up right after that. And then possibly another week after that, the bigger lot for 34 spots by Bocce 8 is going to open. What that's going to do at that point, we will be parking neutral from before when we started closing things down. So even though the spots by the pickleball area will be closed, we'll be back to about the same amount of spots that we had. Let's see, also just to give you an update, we're looking within the next 3 to 4 weeks, so the new pickleball courts should be starting to be put in place. I think I mentioned, I can't remember if it was the last meeting, but our Palmetto Ballroom is going to go down the second quarter. We're planning a massive renovation inside, so it'll be tough for other groups if they're trying to book it. It's going to be it'll probably be 2 quarters, maybe half a year's worth of renovation. Parts of it are over 14 years old, so we need to do that. Something that we did in front of it, we realized the curb in the main entrance in front of the Palmetto Ballroom was the only curb on our facilities that wasn't at a zero entrance, so that you could roll up with a walker. So we took care of that. At the same time as the ballroom is being done, we have a meeting on this at our current board meeting on Friday. We're discussing the new porte cochere. A year ago, the awning in front of Palmetto was blown off during the storm. We've finally got some cost back, and with that we're also looking at adding a new ADA accessible ramp right in front of Palmetto. It'll cut the length of the ramp down by about in half, and we're hoping that it's totally covered. It may not be, we are ADA compliant right now, but is that good enough? That's what we're asking ourselves on the board. Is that good enough? And we're saying, no, we need to be more reactive. Other than that, that's kind of most of the big stuff that's going on.
How long, you said the ballroom is gonna be down, second quarter, be down for how long?
It could be down for half a year.
So, what's the alternate, event space for the?
There will be, like, we've been using Deer Creek for certain areas. We're hoping to have it open before, because this is the year we're hoping to do the ball again. The major, what is it?
New Year's,
Yeah.
Marriott.
Yeah, the Marriott Ball. So, basically, it's gonna be mostly painting, wallpapering, new flooring, new furniture. We've got windows. The bathrooms in there are the original, the ladies' bathroom. You know, when we went for the tour, no ladies in there, but you know, they gave us the walk in there. I said, "My God, this is so old." It's you know, the carpet. After we had some storm damage, a pipe broke, and trying to stretch the carpet back, the carpet's just disintegrating. So it can only last so long. But you know, we have other event spaces, and they've moved some certain events to either the Azalea Room that'll still be open, a portion of it, and we'll be doing stuff in Deer Creek using Marshwood, where we have the ability to move places around. But they haven't been booking as many of the bigger events just because we knew it was coming. So that's
Tony, are you changing anything with respect to the sound system, or is it just
that is
abandoned?
still up for debate. I'm hoping we do. I know a bunch of my fellow board members hope we do. There's some other things that they're talking about that they're gonna give us some information on Friday, so we're waiting to hear their plan. So it's just, it depends what the budget is. We have a placeholder for it. I have a feeling the placeholder is not gonna be enough for what we wanna do, but I don't wanna value engineer it down, because we want that to be good for about 12 to 14 years, and it's used by all of us for all sorts of events. One thing we are trying to work with, and Patty knows, and Vicki, we're at the meetings, you know, we're gonna try to work with y'all on the new member island-wide stuff. So there's a bunch of stuff for the executive, and you guys know, so we're just gonna keep working on that. I don't know if there's any questions I can answer for you.
January numbers?
Chad, we're up. We only lost a couple of members. We're ahead of budget on revenue, but some of our restaurants, because we lost one full day on Saturday, numbers were down a little bit. Our numbers at the Craft Kitchen are off the chart. When we changed our over from the Palmetto, the Southern.
Table.
I can't remember after something. Sorry, you're my fourth meeting, guys. I apologize. But numbers are looking good. Numbers for members are still up. I think we're about close to 75% of the island is in our members. I don't know if we'll ever get much higher than that. I know there's several hundred members of the TLA that used to be members of the club, and for one reason or another, so they're part of that 25% that aren't in there. So, you know, we keep looking at that, and hopefully maybe some people will come back. So,
I think Jesse said that the Franklin Creek revenue was down
yeah.
because of the construction.
Yeah, in general, revenue, that's down, but we still lost some time because of weather and the cold weather. So rounds where we were expecting to be higher this week, we're anticipating them to be down. We're back at full strength for our pros in the golf area. We're still down 2 pros in our tennis pickleball area. We had some people move on for bigger positions, so those will be posted. That's it. Okay, thank you. I'll see you guys Thursday. Thank you,
Not
guys.
coming
You're
tonight?
not coming this evening?
Oh, I'm gonna be tonight.
Oh, okay, we'll see you later.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide it. No, I forgot about that. But I am coming.
That'll be
because
your 5th meeting, so.
well, no, I'm having dinner before with the missus. So. Anyway, thank you guys. If anybody has any questions or something, just shoot me a note if I miss it. All right? Thank you.
Thanks, Terry.
Carl?
All right, we're gonna jump, because we have the annual meeting tonight at 7, we're gonna jump right into the financial report from Jessica. Try to get through this as quickly as we can. Thank you, Jessica.
All right, we're going to talk through the numbers as of the end of January 31st. At the end of January, we had 3.3 million in cash, and that number has grown to this day while we're receiving assessment payments. Our total assessment or investments equaled 9.7 million. Interest earnings in the month of January equaled 38,452. We do take the opportunity in the month of January to reallocate our budget spreads within the months that we expect those to hit. So you're going to see very few variances for this month on both the operating revenue and the operating expense side. When we place these in October, we have very little information of when the actuality is of some of the work will be able to commence and things of that nature. The total budget stays intact, but from a variance standpoint, we do take this one opportunity in January to see if we can make those smoother transitions so we don't have to explain the same variances for the whole 12 months of the year. Total operating revenue ended at 1.1 million, which is 19,000 better than our budget. Total operating expenses ended at 1 million, which was 8,000 more than our budget after the budget spreads were reallocated. Net revenue over expenses equal 50,000, which was 10,000 better than budget. A few of those drivers, the main driver on the revenue side, our rental income, performed better than budget due to receiving a lump sum payment from Crown Castle for 2 of our lease towers. And on the expense side, we had IT-related expenses for the database transition work and repair maintenance expenses due to electrical repairs on the call boxes and also body-worn camera licensing. On our capital reserve side, we spent 25,000 out of the $5.5 million budget. 72% of that was spent on roads and 28% spent on marinas. Members' equity at the end of January equaled 13.1 million, which was an increase of 362,000 since January 1st. Accounts receivable aging, we have 42 non-assessment accounts that have a past due balance. This has declined since our finance committee meeting last week, and we have 5 assessment accounts that have a past due balance from 2025 and years prior. We did complete the 2025 annual audit, received an unmodified and clean audit opinion. As Carl mentioned, and everyone will be in attendance, tonight is the annual meeting. The 2026 annual assessment is $2,594 due by March 1st. And if you would like to sign up for the monthly and quarterly payment schedule, that is still an option. Just reach out to anyone in our finance department. We'll be happy to help you. Any questions on the finance part? And then I'm going to move on to the next item. Okay.
Okay, the next item we have is in the packet noted the reserve software contract. You can see the details on page 3 of the packet. This contract will help us improve our tracking to even another level for our capital assets, our obligations as we talk about that we need to maintain, repair, and replace. The total 3-year cost is $43,605, and we're looking for approval for the 3-year contract with Smart Property.
Move approval.
We have a motion to approve.
Move
Second.
approval.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
All right, thank you. Karen with the Community Development Report.
Good afternoon. I'm happy to be here today to present to you the stats from community development for the month of January 2026. Start off with our permit totals were exactly the same as they were last year. That's telling. No slowdown yet. In terms of applications in front of ARC, we had a slight increase, 33 over 28 the same time last year. Our overall construction activity, we did not have any new homes completed in January. However, we did have 2 new homes break ground. So we've got 16 active construction sites, 10 major improvements, 53 minor improvements, 37 dumpster spots and porta-johns, and 11 permanent extensions. In terms of trends, I wanted to talk about major renovations. So we talk about that. I give you stats on when those occur. They include things like swimming pools, major outdoor living improvements, garage additions, bonus rooms, things like that. But they also include things like this, which is a total major home renovation, where basically every surface of this property was touched. Everything was renovated, inside, outside. If you can see here, they actually redid the entire entryway and built a second story into the structure. And so reconfigured things on the garage portion and the bonus room above that. But I just want you to see the level of improvement and the level of work that's being done on these properties. So you can see all new windows, all new doors, all new, skirting, screening, decking, roofing, every surface. So when we talk about those major improvements, it might seem like a smaller number, 70 or 80 of them a year, but they're really vast improvements in the housing stock. So I know that's a question that we get asked a lot. When are properties going to reach a point of teardown? When people are doing investments like this, they're not. They're taking the good bones of an existing structure and really maximizing it. So I wanted to share that with you, just to kind of give you some insight as to the work.
And that took them almost 2 years, didn't it, Aaron?
It did take them longer than
They
expected.
they came down and
Beautiful.
they bought the home, started the construction, they rented a home and stayed here. So
Yeah, so when you see some of those permit extension requests, sometimes it's for a project like this.
Where is that?
That's on Salt Marsh.
So how many major renovations are currently, you had the slide, right?
So, and like I said, those include things like pools and additions and all that. So we have about 70 to 80 a year. For the last 4 or 5 years, we've averaged around 70 or 80 a year. And so this one's gonna, includes everything soups to nuts, but you might see another renovation that's, an outdoor living improvement that is just spectacular. Like the before and after is kind of mind-blowing. So I just, I'll be happy to highlight some of those things as we go along, but I know that sometimes you all don't get to see exactly what's going on in the community, so I thought I would just show you a couple of those things.
Were there any setback line issues there?
No, they didn't even touch the building footprint. It's the exact same building footprint, they just went up. So requires a lot more structural engineering and things in the floor systems. But we're seeing more and more of those types of applications come through ARC where the homes are actually being doubled in size, so, or proposed. So in terms of private property maintenance violations, we had 12 versus 5 the same time last year. Slight increase. Same thing with our courtesy notices, 10 versus 6. I expect we'll likely see that number continue to kind of rise a little bit more than where we were last year.
So when did we lose our inspector when we went kind of dry on our inspection? So that
Last
late
year,
summer?
you can kind of see it here.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a like for like with our capacity to make the inspection.
Yes. So this is just kind of getting acclimated, getting used to, getting adept at spotting the violations and things and working on cases. Our overall inspection activity, we had 269 site visits that were related to ARC inspections. We had 1,049 proactive PPMS inspections, 25 follow-ups, and those are properties that are already in existing violation. And then we had 3 cases resolved with 100% without formal written notice, so fully compliant.
So we had a question come up in our drop-in. If somebody registers a concern with you and we go out and do an inspection, do we give any feedback?
It depends. Sometimes they do it anonymously and there's no way for us to give them
Yeah,
feedback.
but-
Sometimes if they contact us directly then and they ask for us to give them feedback, we will do so. Sometimes it's just passed to us through another department or through another staff member. So it really just depends. If someone asks for feedback, we will give them feedback as much as possible.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. And then in terms of violations that we saw in the field, this was kind of a typical split. We had 36% home maintenance, 9% driveways, 9% dead, disease, and hazardous, but 46% ARC related, which are those work without a permit cases. So we didn't have a lot of landscaping violations last month, but we did have an awful lot of cases with work being done without permits. So we're working through those.
Some of which were landscaping.
Yes.
Any questions?
kind of maybe a comment and a question. I'm wondering, personally, of course, everything in my yard's dead from the freeze and continues to die because of the freeze.
Yeah.
Are you just kind of,
We're just putting pause on that.
Got it.
We understand that there's really nothing that can be done at this current state, and if we people might start being like more aggressive with the cutting of the plants, and sometimes that does more damage than good because you don't know where that
What's gonna rebound.
plant is.
Yeah.
We did put out some educational pieces about how to care for those plants, make sure that they're staying on a watering schedule, and making sure that you're trying your best to kind of deal with it until the spring comes.
All right, thanks, Aaron. We do have a continuation of suspension of membership privileges that we are bringing forward for Little Lane. This continues to be in non-compliance with the architectural guidelines as previously discussed, so we would like to get approval for the continuation.
We have a motion to continue.
So moved.
Second,
second.
all in favor?
All right, thank you. And Tim Cook, Security Director, final presentation to the board right here. So.
Yeah, as you said, this will be my last official meeting as your official Director of Security. So thank you for the honor to serve this community for the last 13 plus years. It's been a privilege. January crime statistics. Fortunately, we had no Part 1 crimes, which is good. I think last year we had the same. 2 thefts were not reported to CPD that we did get. One was a bag, a Public Works employee left a bag on McWhorter. I think somebody thought it was abandoned and they picked it up. So, and we had a theft package from Franklin Creek, Amazon package left on the front door. Another one was classified as information stolen, so we get more information on it, possible identity theft. So you might see that come up next month. Golf cart statistics overall, we had 4, 2 unlicensed driver, 1 unregistered, and 1 operating in a no cart zone. Guardian Pro statistics, unfortunately we did have 1 traveling 58 to 62 miles an hour. We are still trying to locate and identify the person or the person that's registered to. As you know, we have 6 on-staff gates, so we don't get every and all tag number that comes in here. So that might have been a vendor that came in that we don't have their tag number on file. So unfortunately, we're still trying to investigate that and trying to link them to maybe some other possible visiting dates and people that's authorized them in. The one between 53 and 57 miles an hour, he appealed it. The appeal was just denied, so you should see a recommendation for suspension of membership privileges next month on that.
We're gonna actually talk about that one in executive session.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. Citations overview, overall 24, we're down by 4 from last year, and the fines remain flat at $900. Biggest overview of the citations was overnight parking at 19. Second was parking on unpaved surfaces. January appeals, 6. All of them were speeding violations and all of them were denied. Any questions for me?
What was the last thing that was on the bottom? One that was non-timely. 1 appeal received reduced fines. Okay.
That's typically when you get multiple, you might get 4 over the weekend of the same driver. And so then we get it on Monday.
And they don't get the notice till Monday, so.
So then we get 1 fine, not 4.
Yes. Exactly.
All right.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you for your years of service.
Okay, while he's exiting, thank you, Tim. While he's exiting out of that, we do have Government Relations Committee, which we've reformed. Appointments, those are listed on page 3. We've had 2 meetings. The first meeting was to gauge interest in the attendees and what we wanted to cover. The second meeting was to formalize that a little bit more and let them know we would be appointing them tonight. So the second meeting was yesterday, and we're looking to make the people official who are listed on page 3 of the packet.
Sorry.
Tony Moreno has to be added to that list.
Okay,
Yes.
to this list along with Tony Marino, thank you, who did attend yesterday. So looking for a motion to approve the members on page 3 along with Tony Marino of the club.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Perfect, thank you. Sean, the last item we have under the general manager action items are storm drain contract and phase one.
All right, if everyone looking on page 33 on either your computers or paper, if you're old like me. I feel like I'm the only one that's got a pocket here now.
He's not wearing glasses.
I've been fighting that still, so I just hold it like this. You'll see this is actually a two-part staff report recommending. One is the first part of this is a 3-year contract with Southeast Pipe Survey. We have been successful in being able to manage and negotiate a 3-year contract with Southeast Pipe Survey for services including CIPP, emergency response, conventional replacement, and a couple other manners of repair. What this does is outlines each party's responsibilities for the process and also the pricing structure. So with this agreement, we're able to get a flat 0% increase for 2026. And then in the 2 out years is approximately 5% depending on the methodology. This is the first time they've signed in or looked at these longer term agreements. And it's interesting because we've already gotten some calls from other communities that would like to look at this type of agreement also. From Southeast Pipe Surveys, the kind of the benefit to them is that they're able then to go out and try to negotiate long-term pricing structures with their vendors and suppliers. And also look at the workload that's in this area, if it's more feasible to start to move an office into the Savannah area as they continue to get additional work. So we see this as a very kind of mutual beneficial agreement. So I think the first thing we'd ask for is a motion to approve that, and that feeds into the second one where we start the work.
So we have a motion to approve the 3-year contract with Southwest Pipe.
I still move.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. The second part of the staff report is the phase 1 of this year's storm drain program. We have two, one pipe that's on Lagoon 36, which is, and I'm horrible with golf holes, par 4, I think Dogleg Right, on Oak Ridge, 6. I knew this is the first 9. That structure is actually separated, and we're starting to have some issues with subsidence along earth and riprap overflow structure in that area. So that is part of this program. We have Lagoon 22, which is behind the main gate. We have some separation that's occurring in the precast structure that's in those areas. They'll also be sealing that up, part of this. And the second part is proactively going out in front of Tidewater and Laney's Way South and addressing any pipe separations under the roadways before we start the paving programs. So you'll see some of the crews, our crews have been out doing the cammering in Tidewater. Southeast have started some of the cammering on Laney's Way South. And again, the whole goal of this is to make sure that if we're putting the investment in the road, that we make sure that the infrastructure underneath it is sound. And so any work will be done in advance of the paving crews that are coming through. So that brings us to a total project cost for that work of $417,381. So we'll be looking for a phase 1 approval of this year's slip lining program and storm drain program in that amount with Southeast Pipe Survey.
We have a motion?
So moved.
Second? All those in favor? Aye.
All right. And then we'll probably start around June time period. You'll see us back here for phase 2 as we start to continue working down Delagal down to about Sea-Watch area with the continuation of the preventative maintenance programs.
Sean, what is the total budget for storm drain?
For this,
$1 million.
yeah, $1,039,000.
Thank you.
Do we have an estimate yet on what the repairs are gonna be for the water main?
We don't, as of right now. So we have multiple contractors that are working simultaneously up there right now. Utilities Inc., Hall Construction worked on the water line repair. Ace General Contracting is working on the sedimentation removal in the lagoons and cleaning out the pipes. We had Southeast that actually jetted the pipes out. Bennett Paving is milling and preparing the surface. Absolute Concrete's putting the curbs in as we speak. and we nicked the gas line, so the Georgia Gas and Light was up there for a good 5 hours too. So, but all of those are kind of working in tandem right now. Majority of the costs, we're thinking Utilities Inc. will be absorbing. We will have some additional costs. Just kind of a continuation of some of the work versus just putting a little patch in. We're trying to put everything back correctly. So, but we'll be working with UI to do that. They always say, planning's everything. We were planning on Monday to put the cut across for the driveway into Utilities Inc. to improve that safety issue where their crews were having challenges of almost getting hit on that blind curve. And so luckily we were able to take all the dirt from the center line right there and move it right across the street. So timing is everything, and that project has been going along smoothly. Fingers crossed, we'll have everything wrapped up before the end of the week, and we'll be able to open that up before.
Sean, was it mainly just wear and tear, or was there something that caused it to break? Or did I miss that?
So, great question. The working theory on it is that if you looked in the video, you kind of see the storm drains going across, and you see the water pipe going. The top side or the second pipe that's going underneath the storm drain pipe, there was about a 6 to 8 inch separation between the two pipes. The pipe that where it ruptured was touching the storm drain. So we think, even though that those are underground, when you have constant water flow, you're getting vibrations. That most likely, over time, those two pipes rubbing essentially created a weak point, and then high pressure once it released. The most amazing fact that UI had passed along is that when everyone experienced the water pressure drop, that's because both water towers, which are both 400,000 gallons apiece, so 800,000 gallons came out of that hole in approximately 5 minutes.
Oh,
so when you think about how large of a kind of an explosion that is, and it's, again, that's a matter of just a matter of moments. So we were really lucky. Our residents have a great sense of when something's not quite right, and they started calling, so we were able to kind of catch it right as it was starting to occur, which saved a ton of water.
And is there any way to say that this indicates future risk or future problems from Utilities Inc.? It sounds pretty complicated because you had water pipes and drainage pipes right on top of each other.
Yeah.
I mean, is this something Utilities Inc. should be thinking about other spots, or it's impossible to know?
It's impossible to know. A lot of this is original construction.
Yep.
And every time we uncover some of these things, it's always aha moments a little bit of how things were installed.
And didn't you even say part of the gas line wasn't marked over there?
Yeah, the little, there's a feed line that was going over to Utilities Inc. building that was not registered or not part of the drawings, nor was it located, and so. And it was also not metered, so Utilities Inc. could have been getting free gas for but they have a diesel generator versus a gas diesel. So, but that was part of the delay. Also, was getting that all kind of reconnected, getting it put back correctly because it was
I
not.
was pretty amazed that, I don't know how many of y'all were personally affected by it, but it was back on. I don't know how they did it, but it was back on pretty fast.
I was amazed at the whole process from inception of when it was a problem to repair to fixing the sinkhole. I mean,
to video.
Crazy.
Talk about your friend who lived on the street to get their street to get back on.
Yeah. So the only street, there's 9 houses that are on Woodbrook Court that we weren't able to get back on. And of course, one of the guys I'm good friends with, our kids go to Calvary together, lives at the end of Woodbrook, so he was very interested in our process and timing. Woodbrook was inside of the isolation areas and only has a single feed going in. So for the temporary to get Woodbrook back up, we went through and isolated Woodbrook all by itself. And then Utilities Inc. went and got, since they're already on a boil advisory, fire hoses, and we connected up hydrant to hydrant to get water back. So they wouldn't have drinking water, but they would have all other water. So they were about, I guess it's 2-3 o'clock the following day. We had everyone back up with service. And Woodbrook, I haven't seen yet, but they should be getting the report back today, and they should be back in.
They're off. They're off.
Are they off? Okay. And then they were so, anxious in getting them shut off, and so we could isolate them, that they actually broke the valve off. So if you see the other hole that's in front of the broke port, that's where the crews were crunching the valve down, and we had to cut back in and repair that also this week. So.
You guys did a great job.
Yeah.
We're really lucky to have a great group of staff and Utilities Inc. and contractors that, really.
Southeast, they were out there the next morning,
And that's, Monday we're trying to tell people, all right, we're good. I think we got everything covered. So, let's.
Yeah, we were already trying to figure out alternate bathroom plans, and it was like, it was back on.
Well, it's funny, I look each week at our AI receptionist, and you could see that time about 6 calls in a row came in and said, I have bad water pressure. And so the AI receptionist is transferring them to Utilities Inc. And then they're like calling back, they're not answering. Well, that's 10:20 at night at that point. So a lot was going on, a lot of notifications.
The other thing that helped,
Yeah.
I think, is the fact that we had suppliers and vendors that we could call upon quickly and had long-term contracts in place with them.
Yeah.
And so it's just a matter of, cycling all the people in.
Yeah, and that gives me a lot more comfort to just pull the trigger on a lot of these because I have a pricing structure that I can refer back to, and we're not going to get these outrageous bills.
The benefit of having done what you did to build those relationships.
And Carl, I want to give an attaboy to Tim's crew too, because when I call security, and immediately you could tell they were taking call after call after call, alerting people. So that worked as well.
Yeah, that's good. And then Lynn's getting out the message at 10:20, like the exact same time Utilities Inc. got theirs out to everybody. So that was good.
Overall, went a lot better than it could have.
Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic
So,
job.
The only thing I have to face tonight is we've been accused of doing that deliberately.
If you can find the person that dug 12 foot down to do that.
There must have been some younger
Turn it
people.
back up like it didn't happen.
Right. That means everything.
There are probably some younger people on this board.
All right, thanks, Sean. That is all we have, Don.
Okay, committee reports, Finance Committee? Bill?
Nothing to report.
Okay. Governance, Mariah?
Yes, we have 2 minor changes to our rules and regulations. We have a change to section E2 where we're inserting the word drivers before license to clarify. And that deals with the fact that operators of motorized vehicles need to have a valid driver's license in their possession. And then a minor change to O7, which deals with repeat offenses. And it's a motion to change that section of the rules and regs to delete the phrase within a rolling 12-month calendar as it relates to repeat offenses. Those are the only 2 changes we have to the rules and regs. So I need a motion.
Okay, so a motion to accept the changes to the rules?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we don't have anything for the nominating committee this month. We will probably have it next month because we'll take it to our board workshop next month. Strategic Water Committee, Rob?
Sure, just something really quick. We have now secured the services of a UGA student who will be on site March 5th. She'll be involved in developing renderings of shoreline architecture that will help secure shoreline for living shoreline and also abate some of the rack that flows onto people's properties. She'll be giving us the renderings. She's going to be involved in some listening sessions with residents. And at the end, we'll develop what I call kind of a garden at the Sunset Park where residents will be able to go and observe plants, collect information off QR codes, and understand what they can potentially do for their own property and plant native plants to secure their shoreline. So it's no charge. It's good. And we'll be publishing more broad information to the entire community once we meet the student and go through the onboarding process. So it's all good.
Dumb question, what's rendering? What's a rendering?
It's a landscape drawing,
Okay.
okay?
Got
And
it.
we've asked her to we want her to make it both digital and some large scale so that we can have a demonstration and show it to residents in some kind of drop-in session.
Okay, any other committee reports we don't have listed? Anybody have a? In that case, let me move on to director's comments or questions. Comments or questions from anybody? All right, president's report. So we have, at the workshop, we discussed the general manager's evaluation and that we have a mutually acceptable, mutually agreed upon form, which we all accepted there. We need an actual vote on that in accordance with the policy manual. So I would like a motion to accept the general manager's evaluation report as negotiated between the general manager and the board.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, the only other the thing I want to talk about is our next LCLC meeting is Thursday. We'll be specifically talking about the Marsh Tower drainage, the 250th anniversary, and the joint new resident orientation. This particular meeting, both Carl and Stephen will be there to talk about some of these issues and implementation of plans. That's it. Yeah.
You were going a little bit fast for me, but I did have a report as the director of the security committee,
Okay,
if you don't mind.
not at all.
Even though you passed my tab there. But the security committee has asked me to convey at this meeting our appreciation for the work Tim has done over these years of service to us, and to make that a formal comment to the board. And we do appreciate it, Tim. We got on his announcements glowing remarks about Tim and his service to us, and I want to share that with the board on behalf of the security committee.
Thank you.
In that light, should we make some comment tonight in the meeting and a resolution and
I
appreciation?
will.
Yes.
We've already discussed that with Carl, so yes. Okay, is there anything else? In that case, can I have a motion to adjourn to executive session?
So
Second?
Second.
All those in favor? All right.
Aye.